This video is sponsored by you, link to our channel in the description. At last it has begun, the Gauntlet. Monstra top 10 unit, Ascalon rerun top 10 unit, Alter top 3 unit, Lemuen top 15 unit, Tragodia top 3 unit, and finally Ulpianus rerun top 10 unit. I sincerely hope you saved Brochacho. Monstra joins the representation club with Scadi Alter, Istina, Scavenger and Tomimi. By going from a spine monster to a woman, she gained her true form and lives as her true self, and now everyone hates her for it. Truly, this is incredibly accurate representation, bravo Lowlight. Monstra is a combination of a bunch of things that on paper would be disastrous. She's a chain medic and she has offensive recovery. However, Hypergriff sat up in their gaming chairs and locked in. For once, they genuinely found a fix for the Archetype instead of making the new unit a DPS demigod and calling that a fix, given Monstra is a demigod, but that's beside the point. Talent 1 gives her a Chaos Emerald, and this is the glue that holds her entire kit together. It has a redeployment time of 15 seconds, pretty bulky stats, can only be healed by Monstra and lose HP constantly. This fixes the main issue with chain healers, that being they could not reliably make use of the bounces to extend their range, which is the singular advantage they have over AoE healers. Now, with this little go-go gadget, Monstra can very reliably extend the arm and reach all the way to Reggio Calabria to heal people. Monstra is the beginning of the rise of offensive recharge, along with Archeto IS module and Sakiko from the Ave Musica collab. Both of them have a way to attack constantly, which means offensive recharge is just automatic recharge, but potentially better, as it is affected by attack speed buffs. I expect to see more of this in the future. Allies in the 3x3 around the summon gain 15% attack. This ranges from a nice bonus to quite a drastic improvement on certain operators. Skill 1 is her AFK healing skill. She's not as good as Alter skill 1 or Haruka skill 2, but then again, who is? But if you don't have better healers, it is a great AFK skill for just plain old healing. Skill 2 is where we start getting stupid. Talent 2 gives 20 attack speed to everyone hit by the bounces. This on its own is pretty alright, but skill 2 raises that to 56 attack speed, which is slightly more than a King's New Lance relic. Not just that, the bounces happen even if the summon is at full HP, so you huddle everyone around the summon and you give them quite possibly the strongest stat buff in the entire game. Attack speed is the best stat buff in the game, as it is always beneficial, unlike attack buffs who can fall flat on certain units, and because plenty modern DPS operators already have attack buffs baked into their kits. The only exception is ammo skills, since those have a fixed amount of hits, and select a few operators like Ray who synergize with attack buffs specifically. Not just that, but the actual healing is amazing as well, on par with burst healers like Yaberry skill 3. She's not just a buffer like Warfarin, she will keep your entire wife fort alive while she's at it. Skill 3 will make Monstra jump to the position of the summon. This counts as a redeployment akin to Ulpianus skill 3. She becomes a tank with 3 block and deals true damage to up to 3 enemies in a 3x3 rounder, while also still healing. If Monstra is to be connected to God's Wi-Fi while the skill is active, she will simply return to the original position on 1 HP. Since this skill lasts 25 seconds and the Chaos Emerald has a redeployment over 15, you can deploy the crystal around Monstra to buffer attack even further. If the crystal is outside the monster's range when the skill ends, you get it back immediately, so this is optimal to do. This is where Monstra gets really stupid. She's not just the best stat buffer in the game with skill 2, she's also the best true damage dealer in the game with skill 3, and generally an amazing lane holder, even if technically on paper Vina Victoria has higher true damage. Now the question is, Monstra or Haruka? Both are incredibly powerful units. Haruka is the casual play queen, quite possibly the most comfortable and easy to use medic in the game, making everyone in her range effectively through sheer healing per second. All in all, I think Monstra is the better unit though, once you put everything together. But if you're a turbo mega casual, Haruka might be the better choice. So to recap, Monstra has a great AFK healing skill, the best stat buff in the game on skill 2, a decent buff on talent 1, the best true damage in the game, the ability to lane hold better than half the guards in the game, the ability to face tank even bosses sometimes, an invisibility mechanic on skill 3, and healing that is on par with some of the best medics in the game, except Haruka. She really doesn't have a weakness. Alana exists, she's Wormy's caretaker, so I guess a great mother-in-law for all the Blue Archive fans out there. You guys remember how Chen, the I'm not calling her that, fell off because her issue is having a flat defense shred, which is inherently bad due to how damage calculation works? Yeah, guess what is Alana's gimmick? Skill 1 is literally just Monstra's talent 2 but attached to 2 devices, and skill 2 makes her Rendu's talent slightly less horrid and makes her deal okay damage. Windscooter is pretty okay for a 4-star, think of him as a tequila diet version with a niche to ignore dodge that could be useful sometimes. Ultimately not worth building if you have any other DPS. Here's the members all of usual thanks to Raditz, Leonas, Jack, Living Shadow, Poloticus, Thank You, Stan, Mr. Lerda, Nerato, Station, Joditis, Frinis, Lupo, Lizard King, Demotic, Nerja, Ngermula, Camon Hiren, Max Sensa, Kevin McQuarrie, Lamendra, Shimali, Unionuke, UNSC, The King of Hands, G-Star, The Guy with Two Names, Feletene, Rockman Chan, JJF, and Bosidar. That's all much for me, bye.